Minnesota, in the lower regions of the high country. In the middle of Lake Saldabain, Boris Badenov and his partner Natasha were enjoying the tranquility of unspoiled nature, the warm sunshine, the fresh air.
Boris, why you're coughing?
I'm used to breathing good old city smog, Natasha. This fresh air is killing me.
Then why we're here in this silly boat?
It's not a silly boat, it's a glass-bottom boat.
Sounds pretty silly to me.
Look down there, Natasha. What do you see?
I see funny-looking nose, little mustache. Looks very familiar.
It should. That's my reflection. I forgot to clean the glass. Wait. There. Now what do you see?
I see great big X.
Aha! We are in the right spot.
Right spot?
Of course. Look here at this treasure map. X marks it the spot.
Treasure map?
This is map showing the lost treasure of Monte Zoom.
You mean Montezuma, old Aztec Indian?
No, Monte Zoom, the big race car driver.
Was he rich?
Was he rich? Just ask me.
Okay, was he rich?
Rich enough to bury a treasure at the bottom of this lake, that's all, honey bun.
Yeah, but how do we get it?
Easy. We blow up the dam and let the water run out.
But if we blow up dam, water will rush down on innocent people in Frostbite Falls.
True, true.
Oh, Boris, you are mean, sneaking, no good Nick.
I know. Mr. Wonderful, that's I'm...
And so the two villains prepared to blow up the dam, never remembering that our heroes, Bullwinkle and Rocky, always arrive in the ta-da nick of time.
Don't be silly. I want them to arrive in the ta-da nick of time.
You do?
And I'm ready. Observe. World's only patented Dreamsville Moosehorn.
Dreamsville Moosehorn?
Sure, when I blow it, Moose will forget about everything else in the world.
Including dynamite.
Right. Bullwinkle really digs that crazy cool Northwood sound.
But what about Squirrel?
For him, I got a gun.
Just plain gun?
Look, I can't be tricky all the time. I got other things to think about. Now let's put dynamite on them.
Meanwhile, not too far away as the crow flies...
That's me.
were Bullwinkle and Rocky, charter members of the Frostbite Falls Bird Watching and Pinochle Society.
Unfortunately, today is the day for bird watching.
Put down one crow, Bullwinkle.
One crow.
You spell that with a C, friend.
Oh, thanks.
No E on the end.
Get out of here, you smart aleck crow.
Bullwinkle, that's one of our little feathered friends.
Friends, my eye. I joined the club to watch 'em. I don't have to like 'em.
Well, here, it's your turn to take the glasses. I'll write down all the birds you see.
Okay, let's see. One tufted titmouse.
Check.
One black-capped chickadee.
Check.
No, chick.
Check.
Chickadee?
No, check.
Forget it. Put down robin redbreast.
Okay.
One yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Check.
No, cross that out. I can't stand a coward.
Oh, come on, Bullwinkle.
All right. Say, there's a big-nosed fuse lighter.
A big-nosed fuse lighter, male or female?
There's one of each.
Let me see those glasses. Bullwinkle, those are saboteurs.
One or two bees.
We gotta stop them.
And desert my bird-watching post. Never.
And Bullwinkle, our hero, mind you, refused to move. While on the dam, the fuse burns shorter and shorter. Don't miss our next episode, Floodwaters or Drown in the Valley.
There was once a tinker who had 3 sons. Every morning he would leave his sons at home to go and find something to tinker with.
Now be good little boys, especially you, Nat.
Nathaniel was the youngest and also the most rebellious.
Now why did you throw that cake on the floor?
Well, you said it was marble cake, and I wanted to see if there was any marbles in it.
Nathaniel, if you're not careful, someday you'll hang.
And off the tinker went. After 18 hours of tinkering with this and that, he finally trudged home, or at least to what was left of it.
Boys, what happened?
Nat lit a fire in the fireplace.
But we didn't have a fireplace.
I know.
Nathaniel, someday you'll hang.
Well, the years went by as they have a habit of doing, and the sons grew older and wiser, all except Nat. He grew older, but definitely not wiser.
Would you mind telling me why you hooked up the cow to the reducing machine?
I wanted a milkshake.
Nathaniel!
I know, Pop. Someday I'll hang.
Now, you might think that a tinker's lot is a poor one. Far from it. On Christmas Eve, he showed his sons a strange-looking music box.
Merry Christmas, boys.
Nathaniel not only opened it, but he bashed it against the wall, and there, standing amidst the rubble, was a little old man with a beard, 2 inches tall. The man, not the beard.
I am a sprite who has been locked inside that music box for 100 centuries. Have you ever been forced to listen to 80 million choruses of the Mainstein song?
Well, if you're a magic sprite, can you perform magic?
I shall do better. Tinker,
Huh?
you have 3 sons. They may each ask a wish, and I shall grant it.
I should like to be rich. Richer than anyone in the world.
The sprite pointed a finger, waved it, and at the young man's feet lay all the precious stones in existence.
Sir, I should like to be married to the sweetest, most beautiful girl in the world.
Again the finger, and lo, that wish too became a reality.
And now you, young man.
Look, you may fool the Bobbsey twins here, but not me.
Go on, Nathaniel, make a wish.
Sorry, Pop, there's nothing to wish for. I just want to be me, Nat.
And a gnat he became.
Nat, speak to me. Buzz a little anyway.
Hey, this is terrible.
I beseech you, Sprite, return Nathaniel to his former self.
3 wishes are pretty rough on an old codger like me. I tell you what, I'll come back in a month and grant each of your sons 1 more wish.
And with that, the sprite vanished. The music box reassembled itself, and all was as before, except for Nat.
Don't fret, Nat. In 1 month, you can make another wish and change back.
You think I can wait a month? Not me.
Out of the window he flew. Not very far from the tinker's house was an old hut that belonged to a witch. Nat figured, and rightly so, that the witch could change him back to his former self. But in the midst of his flight, he passed over an elderly woman who was having a picnic.
As long as I'm a gnat, I might as well have some fun. I'll dive bomber.
Oh, that poor soul. Time and again, Nat zoomed at her. Time and again, she took a swipe at him, only to slip and land in a custard pie. The picnic was ruined. Tiring of such sport, Nat made a beeline, or rather a gnat line, straight into the witch's hut.
She must be out shopping. Oh, well, I'll wait.
He didn't wait very long.
If I ever lay my hands on that gnat that spoiled my picnic...
Oh, my gosh, she's the witch.
I got you, you little pest.
Oh, spare me, Miss Witch. I'm not really a gnat, but Nathaniel, son of Tinker.
Nathaniel, you're not the mean little kid who's the scourge of the neighborhood.
The same.
Boy, if I had a son, I'd want him to be as nasty as you. Us witches are proud of your work.
Then you'll change me back to what I used to be?
It'll be an honor.
A wave of a magic wand, and it was done. Nathaniel returned home to his overjoyed father and picked up where he left off.
Who threw the cat through the window?
I did, Pop. I wanted to give him a pain in the neck.
Nathaniel, someday you'll hang.
3 weeks went by, and the little man reappeared.
Well, Tinker, I see your son Nat is no longer a gnat.
Yeah, he was most fortunate. Will you still grant my sons a wish like you did before?
I will.
I have nothing to wish for, as I am content with the riches you gave me last time.
And I am too happy with my beautiful wife to wish for anything else.
What about you, Nathaniel?
Like I said before, I just want to be me.
No, don't say it again, Nat.
Don't worry, Pop. You see this document? I had my name changed to Arthur, so I just want to be me, Art.
The sprite pointed his finger, and he became art. A work of art. An abstract painting in a gilded frame.
Alas, I lose my son again.
The sprite vanished, never to be seen again, and strangely enough, the tinker's prophetic words came true. He said that someday Nat would hang, and he did, on the living room wall.
Last time, you remember, Boris and Natasha were preparing to blow up a dam in order to find hidden treasure.
Yes, it's the lost treasure of Monte.
Not now, it isn't, darling.
What you mean, Natasha? He said like a good straight man.
Now it's the found treasure of Montezuma.
Oh, boy.
And although our hero Bullwinkle spotted the villains while birdwatching, he refused to go after them.
Never!
But this is more important than bird watching, Bullwinkle. If they blow up the dam, think of what'll happen to all those poor people in Frostbite Falls.
Those poor people will get mighty soggy.
Well, let's go.
Not so fast, Rock. We're the heroes, remember?
So
the heroes always arrive in the ta-da nick of time. I don't want to show up early and spoil the suspense.
And I don't want to show up late and get blown up.
You got a point there. Heck with the suspense. Let's go!
But what Bullwinkle and Rocky didn't know was that Boris Badenov was waiting for them with not one but two weapons, a Dreamsville moose horn and a squirrel gun.
I blow moose horn and moose forgets all about dynamite until kaboom!
And what about Squirrel? He also get kaboom?
No, for him is pum pum with squirrel gun.
And so as Bullwinkle and Rocky dashed onto the dam and reached for the fuse, Boris raised the fatal Dreamsville moose horn to his lips and
the one and the two and...
Boris.
Natasha, I think I've lost my lip.
I think you got a duck horn instead of a moose horn.
Could be you're right. Kinda crazy sound, though.
Real cool, Daddy-O, but it doesn't stop moose and squirrel.
Don't worry, I still got squirrel gun.
So use it.
Okay, ready, aim, fire. What's that?
Boris, we forgot. There's no violence allowed on television anymore.
Well, Bullwinkle, we did it. We arrived in the ta-da nick of time.
We always arrive in the ta-da nick of time. The ta-da nick of time.
You said that.
I know, I just love to go ta-da.
Well, all is lost, Natasha. Might as well throw away the treasure map.
Why not just pull the plug at the bottom of lake?
Pull the plug?
Yes, look.
Raskolnikov!
sure enough, the treasure map indicated a large plug at the bottom of Saldabane Lake.
See, the chain leads to this float in the middle of the lake.
So a little later, Boris was at the float and tugging at the chain that would empty the lake and reveal the lost treasure of Montezuma. A little later, he was still tugging. Much later, he was still tugging.
Gee, I wonder what happened to the saboteurs who were trying to blow up the dam.
Well, they wouldn't hang around.
Help! SOS! Help!
What's that?
Sounds like somebody in trouble on the lake. Come on!
And within a few minutes, Bullwinkle had scratched his way to the side of Boris's boat.
What's all the trouble?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Spencer Traceback, the famous actor.
Yeah, I saw you in that picture about the old man fighting with the great big fish. Keen picture.
Thanks, kid. But I got a fish here that's even bigger and I need help to drag it in.
Well, I'm your man.
Moose.
Yeah, Moose.
And Bullwinkle began pulling on the chain, which would pull the plug, which would empty the lake, which would uncover the treasure, which would...
Mister, you got a bad case of which woods there.
I know. Anyway, be with us next time for A Leak in the Lake or The Drain Maker.
And now, here's that man with helpful hints for everyone in the land, Mr. Know-It-All.
Hello there, Hinterlanders everywhere. Today we take up the problem of how to become a successful member of the U.S. Peace Corps. When you are sent into primitive country to help your fellow man, the first important thing is to find a fellow man. Then show them that your country has a new approach. The people back home really care. Offer them beads and trinkets. Primitive peoples like this appreciate that kind of thing.
Fake, 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 fake.
If, however, you find their state of industrial or scientific development farther along than you had supposed, the Peace Corps workers should offer assistance by showing the foreign friend how to repair or improve whatever devices they have. Kindly, brother, I have fixed your machine, so it is quieter now. Courtesy, U.S. Peace Corps! The next most important thing is to work along with them. That nothing too difficult for them is too difficult for you. And there you have it. The end product inspired by cooperation, friendship, and brotherhood.
Gosh, Mr. Know-It-All, it looks to me like you've just inspired this friendly friend from another land to build a rocket ship.
Yeah, happens every time.
Is it for defense?
No.
Space travel?
No.
Then what?
It's their way of getting me out of the country faster.
Peabody here. Once again, it is time to take another revealing peek back into history.
What famous date shall I set it to today, Mr. Peabody?
October 19th, 1781.
Got it. And the place?
Yorktown, Virginia, where we shall witness that great moment of the American Revolution when Cornwallis surrendered to General Washington.
And away we go.
It was simply a matter of seconds when we found ourselves in the main camp of General Washington where the surrender was to take place. However, by the orders the general was issuing, I quickly suspected that something was amiss.
Load your muskets, men. Position those cannon. Prepare to fire on my command.
Hey, the battle is still on.
I'm afraid there's more here than meets the eye. Stopping a passing soldier, I asked him if this wasn't the day that General Cornwallis was supposed to surrender.
Yep, he was supposed to turn his sword over to General Washington this morning, but he ain't showed up. Now we gotta start the Battle of Yorktown all over again.
Golly, Mr. Peabody, this is terrible. There must be some mistake.
Quite so, Sherman, and I suggest we find out what it is immediately. Hurrying into Yorktown, we went directly to General Cornwallis's headquarters, where we found him frantically rummaging through a large trunk.
Not here, not there, not here. Oh, drat the luck.
You'll pardon the intrusion, sir, but by some oversight, have you forgotten you are to surrender to General Washington today?
My good man, it isn't that I've forgotten. It's simply that I can't.
Can't surrender? Why not?
I can't find my ruddy sword is why not. Isn't that jolly well depressing?
But you've got to find it or the battle will start all over again.
Yes, I know. Well, I'll have to do the next best thing and see if he'll accept this cricket bat instead. Cheero, chaps.
Needless to say, it was just a short time until Cornwallis returned with the cricket bat still in hand.
No soap, huh?
No, I'm afraid it must be a sword that I turn in upon my surrender. So be it. I shall go catch a sword.
Catch a sword? What's he talking about?
He could only mean one thing, Sherman. Follow me. My suspicions were, of course, correct, for Cornwallis hurried down to the coast where he set about the task of deep-sea fishing. In no time at all, he managed to hook a beauty, and after a savage battle, landed a whopping big swordfish.
I say, smashing good luck, what?
Wait a minute. You're not thinking of surrendering that to General Washington, are you?
Of course, dear boy. It is a sword of sorts, you know.
It might have worked out, but for the fact that it was such a long walk back to Washington's camp, and being such a hot day, the swordfish was hardly in any condition to present to the general by the time he arrived.
Out! That does it, chaps. There is simply no way to surrender a sword without a sword. I'm afraid the battle will just have to continue.
Is it possible you forgot to bring your sword?
Nonsense. I checked everything carefully before I left. I packed my toothbrush, an extra pair of socks, put my sword on the Oh, by George, you're right. It's back in jolly old England.
Then that is the answer. We shall go to England and get it.
But that's impossible. There isn't time.
Nothing, Sherman, is impossible. You go to General Washington and ask him to hold everything. We shall be back with the sword in no time at all.
Okay, but I hope it works. Good luck.
Luck was with us, for taking one of Cornwallis's fastest ships, we set sail immediately and just happened to get caught in a violent hurricane that blew us across the ocean to England in record time. Wasting no time, we hurried to the general's house.
Mother! Mother!
Why, Charles, what is it? Did you forget something?
Yes, Mother, my sword. I say, have you seen it?
Oh, yes, dear. I'm barbecuing a roast with it. Won't you and your friends stay for dinner?
I'm afraid there's no time for that, ma'am.
I'll take the sword and we'll eat the roast on the way. Awfully nice of you, Mother. Cheero.
We rushed back to the ship and were fortunate enough to catch the hurricane, which just happened to be blowing the other way, and made the return crossing faster than before.
I can't wait any longer. Ready?
Don't shoot yet, General. If you could hold it just a little longer.
Aim! I say, here I am. I'm here.
Wait, here they come. They made it.
Don't fire, for pity's sake. King's X, I give up. Do you surrender, sir? I certainly do. Here, sir, is my sword.
Phew, good work, Mr. Peabody. Cornwallis was finally able to surrender, and that practically ended the revolution.
Quite so, Sherman, and following his surrender, Cornwallis was able to return to England, where in 1794 he was made Marquis of the piggyback races for all of the royal picnics.
Marquis of the piggyback races? How come?
How else could they start the race? You know very well that before every race you must say, "Get on your Marquis."
In the last episode, Bullwinkle and Boris were trying to pull the plug out of the bottom of Lake Saldabain. The reason is that at the bottom of the lake, in this waterproof casing, lies the treasure of Monte.
Yes, and I'm going to get it back, or my name isn't, what's his name? Spencer Traceback.
Of course, Bullwinkle thought he was helping Spencer Traceback, the actor, drag in a big fish.
Just like in the movies. Boy, he must be a whopper.
No, he's a bluefin toonie.
That anything like a piano toonie?
But before Boris could answer with still another tired joke, the plug pulled loose and the water began to rush out of the lake.
Uh-oh, I think we lost him. And small wonder you're not using a hook.
It must have fallen off. Well, I guess it's back to the salt mines. If someone would only dive down and find the hook.
See, why don't I do it, Mr. Traceback?
Oh, I couldn't think of asking you to do a thing like that.
Then why are you pushing me?
But if you insist.
And Bullwinkle suddenly found himself in the water.
Boris, if he dives down, he will find treasure.
He'll also find the hole that's draining the lake.
Sure enough, far beneath the water, Bullwinkle was struggling against the pull of the water, running out of the hole at the bottom of the lake. Fortunately, his plight had not gone unseen.
Hold on, Bullwinkle, I'm coming.
And Rocky, that plucky squirrel, launched himself into a fancy swan dive. But as luck would have it, at that moment, the last of the water drained out of the lake. So there was Rocky, out like a light. Boris and Natasha free to get the treasure, and Bullwinkle Moose... Well, good heavens, where is he?
Right down there, Poopsie.
Yes, our hero had disappeared down the drain.
Right.
But, gee, that means that there are no good guys left.
Funny how that works out. Come on, Natasha.
And with no one to stop them, the two villains went directly to the huge waterproof casing that shielded the treasure of Monte. Fortunately, the waterproof casing turned out to be villain-proof, too.
Hold it, Natasha. I'm bushed. If I got to work this hard to get rich, I might as well get a job.
Oh, Boris, what you said.
Meanwhile, Rocky had come to his senses and was standing beside the hole where Bullwinkle had been pulled from sight.
There's only one thing to do. I gotta fly down there after him.
And adjusting his goggles, the plucky squirrel zoomed down into the hole.
Oh, such loyalty, Boris. It kind of gets you right here.
Yes, Natasha, and I'm going to do something about it, too.
What?
I'm going to plug up the hole.
And the wily Boris slammed the plug back into place and stamped it down tight, trapping our heroes far underground where they were zooming through the water supply system of Frostbite Falls. Our scene now changes rather abruptly to the interior of an apartment house in the suburbs of Frostbite Falls, where
Nearly was a lady last night she died. Told the bell for... Oh, rats, what happened to the hot water? Hey, Super, let's have some hot water up here.
You got all there is. Turn the tap on all the way.
Oh, very well. Nellie was a lady, last night she died. Toll the bell for lovely Nell, my sweet Virginie bride. Oh, for cry-eye, it's a monster!
No, I'm more of a second tenor.
How'd you get in there?
Never mind that. The real question is, how am I going to get out?
Yes, Bullwinkle was jammed into a bend in the water pipe, and what's more, it was a hot water pipe.
Yeah, I'm getting the world's first instant hot foot.
Instant hot foot?
Take 1 foot and add boiling water.
Don't miss our next episode, Bullwinkle Cleans Up, or The Desperate Showers.